Okay, so looking at video number 2. We're still in scientific notation, but this time we're going to go from scientific notation, starting with scientific notation and ending up in your regular numbers. So it's kind of the reverse of what we're doing before. So this is where we're headed. You know, if you had 5.2 by 10 to the 12, what is that in a regular number, you know, with a whole bunch of zeros at the end? All right, so going from scientific notation into a regular everyday number. All right, so let's have a look. So first of all, let's look at these two examples here. So I've got 2.65 times 10 to the 4. All right, so first of all, I know because the power here is positive, this is going to be a big number, okay? I'm going to move the decimal place in that direction, okay? But it's got to move 4 places because I've got to the power of 4. So here's how we can do this, okay? So if we go 2.65, and it's going to change colours here, but we want to jump at 4 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where the decimal place ends up. And we just fill in the gaps there. So really what that is, just get rid of all the other stuff. It's 26500, so 26,500. Okay. And with this one here, okay, I've got to move it 6 places. So let's write that down. Okay, and then let's physically draw in the jumps. That my advice is to actually draw the jumps in. So we've got to go 6 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's where we end up. And then you fill in the gaps with zeros. Okay, so that's 719 and then 4 zeros. Okay, so that's 7,910,000. Okay, so literally, if you can count, you can do this. But my advice, very strong advice, is to physically draw those in. Okay, don't try and do that in your head. What if we're going the other way? What if we've got negatives? Okay, so we know if it's negative, then the number's going to get a lot smaller. So the decimal place needs to move in that direction. Okay, you're going to have, 0.000, blah, 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 like that. Okay, so the decimal place needs to go that way. All right, so same thing. I'm just going to leave myself some space at the front here. I'm going to write 8.02, but now I'm jumping that way. Okay, so I've got to jump 2. 1, 2, so it lands there. And I fill in the gaps, so that's going to be 0.0802. Again, it's counting, it's just in the other direction. I'm going to count 5 spaces, so I definitely need to leave myself some space at the front here, so I'm going to go 6.0 over here, and I'm going to jump 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where my decimal place ends up. Fill in the gaps. So that's 0. I've got 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay. That's how it's done. Okay, so let's just have a couple of practice ones here. So if I've got 9.2 by 10 to the 8 and 1.4 by 10 to the minus 3. Okay, so hit the pause button and go and do these two now. And we'll see if we end up with the same result. Okay, well, assuming that you've done that one, let's have a go. All right, so this one's got to get bigger because I've got a positive. So note the thought process. It's a positive power, so I've got to move the decimal place in this direction. This one's a negative, so I've got to move the decimal place in that way. Okay? All right, so what have I got? I've got 9.2, all right, 8 places. Let's get this page over here so we've got enough room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a decimal place there. Fill in the gaps. Okay, so let's get rid of all that. So I've probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, that is that number. So what's that? 920 million. All right, now this one, decimal place going that way. So I need some space at the front. And I'm going to jump 3 places. 1, 2, 3. There's my decimal place there. So let's write it out a bit more neatly. 0.0014. Okay. That's basically how you do it. So now you can go and get this page done. Questions 21 to 40. Crack on.